welcome back. We are here for round 4 losers of our Hero Singleton tournament. So we've got Alesha versus BeardBroken, a matchup that we've had a lot of times in the late game stages of our tournaments. This time, though, neither one of them will be, they won't both be able to make it to the finals, that's for sure. One of them has to be eliminated here. They've made it to top 4, but one is falling now because this is an elimination match. Whoever loses is out of the tournament entirely. Both have already lost previously. And we have a deck that we just saw last, which is a group of Kilos is a pod, which is going to be the Kilo Bold Innovator as the hero. So then trying to transmute all of the early game units with lots of abilities into very cheap, quick ramp into the high-end stuff, right? So being able to grab things like Kaifus, like we saw last time, or Acantha, the Huntress, off of very cheap units very quickly with the Kilo. On the other side, we have Nick Detraxian Nonsense, a 5-faction deck by BeardBroken, who's managed to go really far with it, mostly on the back of Spire Shadows in the market, playing a bunch of different smugglers, and then trying to immediately go for Spire Shadows, and then grab things like very cheap Snow Crush Animists and Minotaur Ambassador, Highwind Glider, Lumen Defender, Colony Matron, these kinds of cards that then become like 1-cost 5/5 flyers. And we are going to jump on in, see how it's going. I'm going to watch from BeardBroken's side here first. BeardBroken with a pretty tough hand there. It's almost worth keeping because you do get the Scry, and then if you draw another power card, you've got that Find the Way, but yeah, ultimately BeardBroken decides to throw it back. And that's probably the right decision. It's one of those hands where you could almost gamble on it, though. I apologize, I had that up. A little bit off today. But BeardBroken only had 1 power and a Find the Way. That power specifically being one that could actually seek more, though. Deciding to throw Wrath of Kaifus to the bottom since they have all the colors.
Defend the throne!
Crownwatch Paladin, nice early play here. Krendon Merchant could come down from BeardBroken to answer that. Stop Alesha from adding up a bunch of Warcry. I've got to imagine we go for that Spire Shadows that we were talking about. But we'll see. BeardBroken is thinking. Yeah, ultimately decides to go for the Spire Shadows. Maybe just thinking about which power card to throw in. And the big question will be is if we see an early Kilo here from Alesha. Alesha has 2 very scary starting units. Stone Powder Alchemist is a really, really good one to have Kilo sacrifice. And there's nothing that BeardBroken can do about that first one. They do have the Slave for Kilo. If Kilo comes down and sacrifices this turn, they can get it next turn. But in the meantime, it'll at least get one thing. And there it is. Alesha with a very sick curve out. 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop Kilo into the Mokdo. And BeardBroken stuck dealing with some pretty scary creatures here very early. And I feel like BeardBroken is just going to have to bite the bullet and slay the Kilo.
My runes
It's
failed.
rough to have to sit here and deal with that Mokdo, but letting Kilo live is certainly not the way to go about this game. AleshaKills finding out that BeardBroken has nothing to worry about. And now Beard in an interesting position. I feel like Beard might not block here because Beard can actually pressure that tomb. Oh, I like this. I think that you've got to silence the Mokdo and then go for the tomb. Because if you do that, now Mokdo doesn't get the revenge, and you basically force the trade. I feel like you've got to silence it first. You don't want it going back in and getting shuffled with revenge. Yeah, that's the right way to do it. BeardBroken, once again, as has been happening a lot previously, managing to pull out some really key top decks off of that Spire Shadows. One cost 4/4 flyer that silences. Just working out perfectly here.
You buying or not?
Alesha gets to go to the market, but they don't have a removal spell that will deal with that Archive Curator in the market. Oh, wait, no, they do. They've got Edict of Makar. So Edict of Makar will be able to shoot down the Archive Curator and keep alive the tomb, which I think is the play here. No. Nothing. That's surprising to me. Maybe Alesha actually has an Annihilate in hand already? Wow. BeardBroken hitting this Crown Watch Press Gang is really interesting. It means there's a lot of one-cost units that BeardBroken can get right now. BeardBroken's gonna opt to look at the top of their deck before they make any decisions. No, Alesha doesn't bother. Didn't go for the removal. Deciding to just let the Regent's Tomb die. So that's a really interesting play. I wonder what Alesha got out of the market. I mean, it's certainly possible it was like a Grasping at Shadows or a Diesel's Office. Grasping at Shadows can pull back a Kilo, so that might have been the choice.
Another late night.
Maybe doing it because they think that they can get the Kilo back and start that train going again. They'll be in real big trouble if that's what they're planning, though. Because, of course, this equivocates waiting in BeardBroken's hand. Find it really interesting Calling Matron didn't get played. It might have been an early heads-up play by BeardBroken, thinking that Unseen Execution is the card that came out.
Your rest is not begun.
Because Unseen Execution kills each unit with fewer than 2 battle skills, which would obviously be BeardBroken's entire board with Colony Matron. Wow, BeardBroken with this Bulbous Humbug. Looks so good with that Mystic Ascendant. And I guess we'll see what Alesha has up her sleeve. Unseen Execution no longer wipes out the entire board of BeardBroken, since these 1/1 bats are actually 2 life... wow, 2 skill units. That is pretty backbreaking. I feel like BeardBroken might have to block here. Yeah, BeardBroken also feeling the pressure. That being said, BeardBroken's hand is really good. They get to rebuild their board quickly. You can play... God. Now Highwind Glider, too. But you can go Colony Matron, Mystic Ascendant, Power Card, and still hold up Equivocate. Or just play Highwind Glider.
Your power first.
Some really awesome top decks here from Beard. And now hitting Minotaur Ambassador. Oh my god. Beard is just an unstoppable machine as far as top decks go, I swear. Oh, no second Justice card in the deck. So no Justice Sigil for free. Still, drawing an extra card off of that, being able to play Colony Matron or Highwind Glider. But Beard opts not to do that. Still worried about that Unseen Execution. Which is not coming down. I think that BeardBroken needs to start throwing something into that. I mean...
Imbued for your safety.
I don't know, I feel like... Ugh. Just unbelievable value here. Getting the second Kilo. Very smart play from Alesha. BeardBroken able to deal with 1 Kilo, but the second one's going to come down no matter what. And we are in for a hell of a game. I have no idea who's winning this. I do feel that Beard maybe should have played one of the flyers into play. Just got a little too afraid of that Unseen Execution. I mean, it's probably coming out, but you've got to bait it out. Just sitting here and not doing anything in the face of it isn't helping. Now the question is, does Beard just give up the fight around Kilo? Because there's the second one. There's not a great option here. Because you can't really let Kilo just have her way, but at the same time, you know that if you kill that one, you just have to deal with the next one in a second. And not even that, you're going to have to deal with it again. No, equivocate, right. It's not removal. I was thinking it was just going to die, and I was like, if it just dies, then Alesha's just able to buy it back again with the Vara. But at least there's that. At least it's equivocate. Equivocate could also go for the Vara.
Fresh from the battlefield.
Alright, well, Beard has thought of a line anyways. Going for the Smuggler's Stash. And then I'm thinking Marison and Equivocate, but I could be very wrong. There's a lot of things that can happen here. Gonna go after the Vara here on the Equivocate. Giving up the fight over the Kilo, letting Alesha have it, which probably the right decision for what the board has been like, but also an extremely tough position to be in. Yeah, now BeardBroken just throws everything onto the board, which could end up being really bad. Oh, wow. Eileen Clan Mother, and now power card Unseen Execution? Nope. Going to the market again, though, which means that probably setting up for it. Oh, that's not the best time to hit that Crown Watch Recruiter. Because I imagine that it's going right into the face of that Unseen Execution. Beard could get, like, Lumen Defender. It's harder to find the cards they can search up because of the fact that they're not actually 1-drops. They're cards with 1 attack power. Opts for the Lightning Sprite to just try and dig. Needing to find some kind of answer. I'm not sure, honestly, what BeardBroken could find. Lightning Sprite also dies to it, but does help dig down. So I feel like that might be the play.
What is new?
No, it's going to be Smuggler's Stash. Pulling back Archive Curator and Mystic Ascendant. Yeah, so at least you can silence the Eileen. Eileen or the Kilo, one or the other. I've got to think that it's going to be the Eileen.
That's quite enough.
Because even without Unseen Execution, Eileen can wipe basically your entire board. And I think with these double Kilos, this game is really firmly in hand for Alesha. Despite how powerful BeardBroken's deck is and what they've been doing, Kilo searching up answer after answer every turn is kind of an unstoppable death march here, it feels. I've got to imagine BeardBroken tries to dig down quite a bit here. If they can find a way to, like, get Shenra Speaks, that might help. Zaltar Arcanum would be good. And they have that answer now with the Great Valley. Throwing away the Find the Way. I think that you might want to play Lightning Sprite to put pressure on Dizo's office. BeardBroken also agreeing with that. And throwing away Amber Acolyte. Not going to bother playing the Mystic Ascendant. Like I said, I think that BeardBroken's playing appropriately because they both have access to each other's markets and their full board, and I would think that BeardBroken knows Alesha probably has an Unseen Execution. They've been able to go into their market 3 times now, and Unseen Execution just looks so good on this board. Just seems very likely. Wow, and Beard just continually digging. I'm not sure exactly what Beard is looking for. I'm not even sure that Beard knows. I was thinking it might be Nikto, yeah, just to try and hit Nikto and see if you can get something at random that helps you out. I mean, there are cards in Eternal that would do really well, like Stand Together could be amazing to stop that Unseen Execution. Reality Breaker. Oof. With Lifesteal, and this is going to be able to clean up a lot of the board. Oh, not killing the 4-3. Maybe a misclick from Alesha. Could have picked up the Crown Watch Recruiter as well. Alesha is very content to just sit back and wait
Fresh kills make the
and
best
force
pelts.
BeardBroken to make the moves here. Yeah, and there's the Shenra. BeardBroken not really able to pressure the Dizo's office either because of Alesha just being very cautious here and not throwing anything out. So yeah, we're going to see with Decimate to make sure that Kilo can't be bought back
Rise up,
again.
my pets.
And hey, I mean, if you're going to start from an empty board, Marison is a very good way to start it. Especially an 8-7 Marison. But you know what? BeardBroken ain't the only person that can play with random cards. Here comes Alesha. Who knows what they could get? Moknati is not the card they got, but it is a pretty good one. Beard stuck with this Mystic Ascendant that doesn't actually draw them cards right now. And of course, the Amaranth Stinger doesn't actually attack around Moknati. Making it 3-5 and attacking with it into Moknati. I'm really uncertain as to why BeardBroken would do that. Like, that just feels very wasteful. God, Alesha gets Cabal Extortion's the Headsman's Axe on Moknati. Overwhelm, 16-16 Lifesteal, and that is the game. Wow. That is a heck of a card to get off of the Invoke, and Alesha steals a game with the Headsman's Axe, executing BeardBroken with just one chop. And that's a 1-0 so far for Alesha. Really, really long, drawn-out battle there between these two value decks. Kilo being able to grab a ton of value for Alesha, and then, of course, that Spire Shadow is just letting BeardBroken keep clinging on to life forever with some very cheap, powerful units, thanks to the Spire Shadow's activation, flipping everything to be cheaper. And we are going to watch from AleshaKills' side this time for Game 2. And see if Alesha puts it away. Alesha was eliminated by BeardBroken in our last tournament in the top 3. Now both of them are again back in the top 4. And whoever loses this match is eliminated. So we'll have to see if Alesha can get revenge for the last time that they met. And an unfortunate starting hand here for Alesha. Gotta imagine that gets thrown back. This hand looks great, though. Early Ikaria. Sea Cancers can pull up a lot of things. And obviously Sea Cancers is a roll of the dice, but it's a good one. There's some weighted dice that you're rolling on Seek Answers. And BeardBroken keeps Nyctotraxian. Oh wow, Diplomatic Seal played instead of the Justice Sigil. Alesha just going for even more justice. I guess, I mean, it makes a lot of sense when you're trying to use Ikaria here.
Face judgment.
Try and get the Ikaria bonus and make it a 5-4 if you can.
The fruits of paradise.
And there's BeardBroken with one of those early smugglers like we talked about. So BeardBroken has the hand that they want. Alesha has a good one, but not exactly what they want. They really need to find Kilo. BeardBroken, though, does have their Spire Shadows now, almost for certain. And we'll see what they manage to top deck this game. And how much problems that gives Alesha. So Alesha's stuck without a great play here, so I'm guessing the Seek Answers. You don't want to have to slay just a 2-2. Scourge of Frostholm. Not exactly the card that you want to draw on this deck. Much more of one that you want to get with a Kilo. And maybe not even one that's that important against BeardBroken. BeardBroken really relies on a lot of units that have been discounted because of the Spire Shadows, and not so much on a bunch of big spells off the Scourge. Oh no, BeardBroken immediately gets an Honor of Claws. That's really bad news after Spire Shadows, because the one problem that Spire Shadows has, I mean, once it activates, it's an insane card. Swapping the attack and the cost of each unit in your deck can lead to some really, really broken costed units. The issue is that then you have to draw them, and Honor of Claws lets you draw a lot of cards. So BeardBroken is likely to come firing out with something pretty crazy next turn. And Alesha's got that Slay, but it's just one. And nothing else really past that. Yeah, here comes a free Aurelian Merchant. Thought that they nerfed it. A 0-cost 3/3 does not seem like much of a nerf. I'm thinking that you just play Black Sky and try and keep some pressure up here. If I'm Alesha now, my plan would be to just try and attack in the air as quickly and fast as as quickly as possible, and make BeardBroken have the answers. There we go, BeardBroken just drawing more cards, trying to find some cheap things off that Spire Shadows, maybe missing the first time. But BeardBroken's now seen like 9 cards since casting that. So we'll see a Lightning Sprite at least. And then I've got to imagine Aramot comes down. No, it's going to be Slay. Slay into Rindra.
This night will be your last.
The plan of just getting in the air might work out for Alesha here. BeardBroken just feeling really slow out the gate after that Spire Shadows. Maybe not finding the right cards. In BeardBroken's darkest hour, their power of being able to top deck the perfect answer has maybe finally fled them. We've seen again and again BeardBroken cast the Spire Shadows, have like no cards in hand, and then immediately get a bunch of 1-drops. But maybe BeardBroken was baiting it? Here comes the Harsh Rule, and that is pretty backbreaking here for Alesha. I mean,
We fight to survive.
they have some pretty good cards to start the game off with, but BeardBroken has 7 cards in hand. Or 8 cards in hand now? If any of them are cheap units off that Spire Shadows, this could be very bad news for Alesha. One's an Equivocate. Equivocate against the 7-drop is generally not as painful as usual. Yeah, like Marizo is still very gross. That's a threat that's going to have to be answered again by BeardBroken for sure. Does Beard just not have any units?
You buying or
There's
not?
Corendon version. Pulling Nyctotraxian back out of the market to get more cards. Yeah, Beard just digging here. Not able to find any of their cheap units. They've seen so many cards. I'm absolutely stunned they haven't found something that was cheap.
The right blade for the job.
There's Blight Pass. Probably throwing Nycto back into the market. This being kind of the advantage of all of these smugglers and the Nycto. And wow, Alesha is only one turn away from casting Scourge of Frostholm, which, as I said, it's not as big of a deal for BeardBroken's deck as for some, but not being able to cast spells is still a pretty big handicap, even in a deck that's very creature-focused like Beard's.
The stone's power dims.
There we go. BeardBroken finding some gas, at least. And then all feed as well. Yeah, I like this attack. So this is going to lead into a pristine from Alesha to buy back that Marizo. And, of course, making an 8/8. Which I guess that's kind of a downside, because you actually lose it immediately. You do get to draw them back, but unfortunately not quite as cool as you would like. Well worth it, though, to block out both the All-Heed and that Waystone Infuser. So now it just really comes down to, has BeardBroken found something like a Marison? I mean, the answer seems to be no, or I think Beard would be playing a lot faster.
Quite enough.
Fresh from the battlefield.
I mean, Archive Curator looks pretty good. BeardBroken able to go to the market. They do have the Shenra Speaks, Smuggler's Stash, and Zoltar Arcanum left. They've already grabbed them to East Distillation. And I mean, Frostholm is a really mean answer right after BeardBroken used up their Archive Curator, so they can't silence the Scourge of Frostholm, and then went to the market, so probably unable to play whatever they got in the market as well. I mean, everything in Beard's market is a spell or make spells, whether it's Shenra Speak, Smuggler's Stash, Zoltar Arcanum. I mean, Arcanum just plays spells, right? So there's not a great option here. BeardBroken going back into the market, maybe to grab what they put in there.
Time heals all.
Yeah, Lumen Defender is probably what was put into the market in the first place. And Alesha hits a Kilo.
Viewed for your safety.
And this is looking really bad for Beard. Beard already having lost game 1. So Beard is on the bubble.
Clans will obey.
7 is such a good hit. Being able to get Eileen out of the deck. And Eileen can wipe out most of BeardBroken's board. And BeardBroken can't even use a spell to answer it. It looks like Alesha might have completed the revenge play and taken out BeardBroken. Yeah, like Zoltar Arcanum is a cool card, but when you're locked out of playing any of the spells because of the Scourge of Frostholm, it sure looks a lot less impressive. I love this Alesha putting the Exalted trigger onto this Eileen so that it gains just a ton of life. Killing the Zoltar Arcanum just in case. And yeah, Alesha doesn't even have to use Kilo anymore. BeardBroken facing down 57 life and 9-10 Eileen. Oh, wow, and the Shimmer Pack, I was gonna say, it looks really bad for Beard, but Shimmer Pack might do it. That at least brings the game back into the possibility of victory for BeardBroken. I didn't think that Beard had another way out of this, but being able to wipe out every single unit on Alesha's side without even playing a spell is amazing here. And here comes Smuggler's Stash to buy back 2 of the biggest units. What can we see? Waystone Infuser, Alheed, one of the various merchants. Yeah, we're going to see Alheed. And Aurelian Merchant here. Haunting Scream, though. Can't get Alheed back. Can get Rindra. But, I mean, that's just chunking damage at Beard, and... Well, that's useful. I don't know that it's enough. And it is a lot of damage. Unless you're gonna wait. These are now 4, so actually you can get back a Shimmer Pack off of it. So Ghost Dino might happen to both sides of the board. Smart play from Alesha. I'd kind of forgot that it had been flipped by the Spire Shadows. So now Shimmer Pack is actually going to work in Alesha's favor thanks to this Haunting Scream.
The desert is far from barren.
And BeardBroken's got some cool plays here. BeardBroken could immediately play the Aurelian Merchant and put it back on top if they want to go to the market twice. Wants to see what they invoke first. Almost certainly the right play. And I mean, the ultimate's only 4, so it can still happen. This Haunting Scream is going to be amazing.
I'll move anything for a price.
16 Nick Detraxian. Wow, with an 8... Oh, sorry, that's just the 4/4 Grotto of a Vandal. For some reason, I thought that it was already at 4/4 and then was doubling.
Cities may fall, but the law stands strong.
So is Alesha going to wait here for a moment? No, Alesha's going to immediately go for the Haunting Scream. Oh, wow, right. The charge will actually matter. Alesha can turn her own units into flying charge dinos as well. Right! Oh, wow. BeardBroken living by the Ghost Dino, dying by the Ghost Dino. The card that saved BeardBroken's life, ultimately turning back around and taking it as well. Just an incredible way to win. Spire Shadows flipping the Shimmer Pack into a 4-cost unit, and then BeardBroken having to transform Alesha's board into the dinos, allowing Alesha to drag it back. What an incredible match. And so Alesha, in fact, getting revenge for the previous tournament and moving past BeardBroken, fighting up all the way from losers round 1 to be in the top 3 players.